All right, welcome back to another day trading recap video. Today I am finishing up 156.44, $156.44. I traded two stocks. I traded RDBX and RVSN. Acon is popping up here. Let's see what Acon had. Acon moves up past 250, up towards 260, then I would consider trading it. So I traded two stocks. Only green on one, RDBX. I just kept getting caught in. I just thought we would have a little bounce and a breakout and a little bit of front side, and we didn't have anything really that I took advantage of. It was really choppy. But let's jump into the trades here. So at RVSN, I traded pre-market, late pre-market, 8:45. That was my first trade, 8:45. So I sat here for an hour and 45 minutes without taking a single trade. But I saw it kind of pushing $2, but I kept closing out really early. I really didn't think it would break through $2 because it didn't have any news, and I don't know. It seemed kind of. I wasn't convinced yet. I needed it to prove itself first. Then I got into on this pullback. However, I was in at 216, so it wasn't the best fill. And then we got a false breakout here, so I took it off break even. And here another false breakout, took it off break even, but I was adding at 220, 221 for the push to 225. And then here, this was a great setup, but again, I closed it too early. It was getting close to open, and I got a little spooked here on this pullback. It hesitated. And yeah, I got spooked and I closed it out early. It broke out without me. And then at that point, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to wait till the open, wait for another setup. Here at the open, I scalped this for a 4-cent gain on 1,600 shares. So that's pretty good. That's about a $3,000, $3,500 position size. That's pretty good. We did get this flush, a false breakout right at the open and a flush. This is a great dip opportunity here. Great dip opportunity. I was holding backside here. I was in like 800 shares, holding through this pullback. But it was taking a little bit too long to see this candle here, which is what I wanted to see here. So I kind of sold in this area just to kind of manage my risk. I was up about $50 or so, or $77, I think. After taking my position off here for break even. And then it pulled back more, and then as volume was fading, on this candle here, we got a nice hammer candle, and you have this downward resistance level here. And as soon as I saw this candle get bought up, I knew that there was a wave of momentum. I felt the wave of momentum coming in on the tape and the ladder, and it was just kind of chipping away at all the price levels underneath the 9 EMA. And I knew when we see this break in 9 EMA, it would have been a nice red to green, especially since it's close to open. You're more likely to see a panic surge of all the shorts covering because of the massive volume that we had at the open. 2.5 million shares traded per minute. That's crazy. And so all those shorts are getting squeezed out here. And so I added at 215 from my starter, added more at 223 on the break of the 9 EMA, and rode it up. And I was really looking for a move to 230, break through 235, but we double topped here, and I had to close my position in case we seeing another flush. I mean, ideally, I wanted to see this candle or rip through this level and halt up, similar to what we saw at OST. This is a very similar setup to what we saw on OST from yesterday, and I nailed OST. I had $196 winner on that, and I finished the day up $200. So this is a very similar setup, but because it hesitated here, I took my profits. You know, it wasn't that much as I made on OST, because OST ripped through this level and halted up, and I was in at the halt, and then it opened higher and I took it off. But here we didn't get this, and then we actually had a false breakout here, and I was very surprised. So I added at, what was my exit here? Huge false breakout. So I added at 228, it ripped through the high, and then I got filled, it immediately reversed, and I got filled at 230. So about a 1 cent win on 500 shares. And then I quickly bought the dip here and sold for a half a cent gain there. I did get some fills up at 238, 235, 234, but then I rode my last portion all the way down to 220, and I sold at 220 all the way at the low here. If I would have sold up here, I could have had another $10 on my profit. And then we consolidated here, but I was surprised that we're holding VWAP here. We held VWAP here, we pushed back over the 90 EMA, and then we held VWAP again, and that's confirmation right there that there's still buyers on this. And here you can see it got bidded back up right when we saw a break over this 231 level. I was looking at it, ready to take a starter, but I really wanted to wait for the break of 235, because if we broke over 235, then anyone short on this candle is getting squeezed out, and we're definitely going to see a bigger move, which we did. So, I took my starter, and I was like, if it does like a false breakout here again, that's okay. I'm on my starter size, so I take like a 10-cent loss, whatever, $10. But if it holds that level, I want to be adding, because that is confirmation right there. If it closes above 235 and it's holding this level, and every time it kind of gets sold into it, it reclaims quickly, I want to be adding into that, because that is strength. And so I add into it, and it breaks out, and I take it off into the extension here, and then it held this breakout level of 245 on this level, and then pushed through 250, and it was only pushed through 250 for a second, and I took it off at 252, and then the rest at 246 and 246. I thought we'd see a bigger move, but we didn't, because this is a kind of an odd pattern here. You have this huge false breakout and reclaim this level. That's bullish, and usually with these types of moves, they catch shorts off guard. You usually get a pretty big squeeze here, so it was good that I held a portion of that, because it really could have gapped up to $3, because it was a recent IPO, so it could have broke through $3, and then the here you can see the high the highest of the year, which was only the all-time high, which was only a month ago, was at 320. So it really could have broke through that level if it wanted to. But it hesitated up here, and so I started taking my profits, and then I just sized down and just kind of scalping it with 100 shares. Nothing too crazy. I didn't want to get too aggressive here. And then here, I thought we'd see a reclaim. It was holding this level of 235, so I kind of, took a stab at it, but then it kind of stalled up here. If it would have reclaimed 250 and ran to 255, I would be getting more aggressive. But since we didn't see it, I just, I didn't get a chance. I didn't add at all, because there wasn't an opportunity to add. If it broke over 250, then I would be adding. But since it didn't do that, I was on my starter size, and I took it off for a small gain. And then here you have kind of like an ABCD pattern, so this is a higher low here, and usually if the bulls are in control, once it dips down for that second low below the 9 EMA, or if it does dip down below the 9 EMA like this case, it should reclaim the 9 EMA pretty fast within the next candle on some volume and a strong green candle, and that shows me that people are eager to get in at this price here. That's what it shows me, that people are eager to get in at this price because they anticipate a higher price in the future, and since it got bought up pretty quick, that shows me that bulls are willing to bid the price up at a pretty fast rate. So I got in at the reclaim of the 9 EMA for an ABCD setup, looking for the break of the high, but then it hesitated up here and he had a false breakout, and I took it off. But I was able to walk away with a little bit of profit because I got in at a pretty decent price. So yeah, I was looking for a 250, and then I run to 255 in a breakout, but we didn't get it. And then here it just kind of showed me weakness, and then I downsized even more for a potential, maybe we could see it move on this candle, but did false breakout again. But I was in such small size, took it off for break even. It didn't matter really. But that's kind of like my strategy. It's showing weakness, so then I size down a little bit, but I still take a stab at it because you're really volume and strength can sometimes come out of nowhere, especially if you're still riding the front side. So I was still willing to take advantage of this with 50 shares, and if it did gap to 255 and there was a huge block of sellers getting chipped away, then I would just completely just be adding into that pretty aggressively for the breakout. So really, I'm making quick decisions on the fly, always shifting my thesis, always willing to shift my what I think is gonna or what I feel is happening in the market because it does shift like within one. It can shift within one candle. Just for example, here, like right here, if you zoom in and you don't even look at that candle yet. This is an ABCD setup here. This is bullish. I mean, you have a reclaim here pretty quickly, strong green volume. There was a high chance that this would break 250 and run to 255 and then break out. So I was willing to accept, this is my setup. So I'm buying here to reclaim of the 9 EMA with my stop down here. Oh, it's like a mental stop, but like it's like a 8-cent stop. So that's a good risk. And the reward is a potentially 10 to at least a 10-cent win, potentially way more than that. So right here is bullish. So I'm here to capitalize on that opportunity. But as soon as I saw this candle within the next minute, the false breakout here, it broke the 250 level and reversed. Now everything shifts in my head. Whatever I thought a minute ago is now not valid, and I have to be able to shift that as being a trader, like someone who trades small caps and momentum, and they need to be able to shift their mindset from here, from bullish to now it's bearish, and now you're looking to take your profits, size down, maybe hold small size, and look for another signal that there's buyers here that are going to reclaim this 250 level pretty quickly and then run to 255, and then you're back to bullish. But right here is bearish. And then here I saw it hold the 9 EMA, so I was like, okay, maybe it's still bullish here. Maybe we could still break out. So I go small size, very small size. Still skeptical. I'm not committed. It runs up to this level. I'm still holding on the sidelines. I really could have I could have added here if I was aggressive. This is a valid add here. Breaking back over 250. So you could have easily got caught in this. I probably could have gotten caught in this if I was too aggressive. But in this case, I didn't hold. But if we did retest the 255 immediately if I saw it on the tape, I would be adding for sure, 100%. But yeah, just being a trader with small cap momentum, you have to be able to switch your bias on the flip of a dime, like 30 within the next second, next 30 seconds, next minute, next candle, because it changes, and that's how you're able to manage your risk and maximize your profit. So that's it. That's RVSN. Let's just go to RDBX. I think I had like 1 or 2 trades on this. I'm only down $10 on it. I thought we would see a move. We got a strong move back through VWAP, and I started adding at 713 for a break over to 723, and I was looking to add on that level, but a bunch of sellers came in here, and I thought you thought we'd maybe need the dip again, which we did. So I took it off for a small loss, about a 12-cent loss. And then I added back here for a reclaim 713. I thought we would see it. I thought this was the pullback that we needed, and I thought we'd run to 725 for an add, but this one got stuffed again. And then at this case, like I was like, you know what? I'm done with this. It's not worth it. So I stopped trading, and thank God, because he got a huge false breakout here. This could have really hurt me pretty bad. So thank God I stopped trading that. I mean, it's still in a range, so there's no reason to get super aggressive on RDBX unless it was on a front side move. But because it's ranging here, you don't want to be adding higher for you don't want to be adding higher here because there's a very high chance of false breakouts, and just the overall market is choppy, and it's a huge backside move here on the daily. So definitely got to be careful with that. It still might make a move maybe during power hour. I could see this dipping down here, and then finally making that move. Who knows? I mean, you have some support, kind of like a rounded bottom here. So we may see a move, a little bounce, but I'm not expecting much from RDBX unless we get some fresh news. So that's it. Don't want to make this video too long, but that's my trading recap, finishing the day up $156.44. Pretty solid, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next day trading recap. Peace.